If you're over the age of 30 and you're rehabbing your ACL, you probably noticed something. All the content out there that you see, YouTube, Instagram, most of them are made for younger athletes. And you're probably sitting there thinking, does this actually apply to me? So in this video, I'm gonna break down what actually changes for someone who's over 30 and rehabbing their ACL, and the practical things that I do for my clients who are over 30 and getting back to sports again. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Josh Erwanto. I'm a physical therapist that specializes in ACLs and returning to sport. I've helped over 200 people get back to sports confidently, including most of them being over 30. So let's dive into the video. Before we get into what changes and what doesn't, I wanna talk about something that most ACL content you see don't really address, and that's self-identity. Because for most of you, it's not just about the knee. When you're in your 20s, you're rehabbing to get back to some kind of competitive sport. When you're over 30, the goals and priorities shift. For most people, it's not even about competing anymore. It's about staying active and available, healthy for the things that actually matter for your life. Your family, your kids, being able to run on the weekend to de-stress without having that knee holding you back. And here's the big thing. You still identify with the active person you used to be. That part of you didn't go away just because you got older and life got busier. And that tension between your life responsibilities and who you still see yourself as is exactly what makes ACL rehab harder and more challenging for someone who's over 30. It's not the body, it's not about the age, it's the fact that work, family, kids, and relationships consume most of your day. And somewhere in there, you're supposed to rehab this major knee injury. And I totally get it, because I'm over 30 and actually most of my clients are over 30. So the goal of this video is to actually help you understand how to rehab your knee the most efficient way, the fastest but safest way possible. So let's start with what actually stays the same. Your knee might heal a little bit slower than someone who's in their 20s, and that's just a matter of fact. But the science shows that long-term outcomes, so your strength, your confidence, the trust that you have in your knee is very similar to someone who's younger, as long as the rehab is done properly. So that's a difference maker. Even though you're healing slower, as long as you do the right things in your rehab, you can get back to your sports. Your age may change the speed of the recovery, but it doesn't change what's possible. And the benchmark for returning to sport doesn't change either. So everything about quad strength being over 90% symmetry, the hop testing, all those benchmarks that you see are similar whether you're 22 or 42. So you still need to progress your strength training, your plyometrics, building confidence when it comes to jumping and landing. None of that goes away just because you're older. Just because life is busier doesn't mean you don't work as hard. And here's something that the data actually shows. Your risk of re-injury reduces when you're older compared to someone who's under 20. Not because they heal better, but because they're more patient. They don't rush back. There's no speedy timelines where you have to get back on the court or the field by a certain time. Being over 30 can have its advantages because you have a different perspective on how to heal this knee. Now, here's something that actually changes when you're over 30. The biggest thing is you don't have time to waste. Someone who's younger, like in college, or in their low 20s, can spend more than 2 hours at the gym without too much consequences, but you can't. You've got things to do. You've got families to take care of. So the program that you're doing, the rehab, has to be efficient. Not only efficient, but effective. So the right program, the right exercises, the right volume, nothing wasted. Ideally, you probably want to get in and out of the gym within an hour. And most importantly, you want to know that whatever you're doing is actually not wasting your time and effort. Also, recovery between sessions may take longer. A 20-year-old can bounce back from a hard training session probably within a day or two. But for you, it might take 2 to 3 to maybe 4 days. And this doesn't mean to do less. It just means space it out smarter. Not overworking, but not underworking either. You're not trying to get back to your college sports team. You're trying to run that 5K, play basketball on the weekend, ski with the family, keep up with your kids. This type of clarity on your goals is actually better because it makes the programming more specific than someone who's just trying to get back to sports generally. So here's what I see consistently with my clients over 30. There's 3 practical steps that they have in common. Number 1 is efficient workouts. This isn't just about being time efficient. It's also being smart into what goes into that hour. Yes, you'll definitely need to push hard and heavy on some of your strength exercises because it's non-negotiable that your quads, your hamstrings, your calves, all these things still need to get stronger no matter what age you are. But it's not just about loading heavier and heavier. It's also about choosing your right exercise exercises for you, your history goals, your sports that you played, how active you are, because we don't want to piss off or irritate other parts of your body. I'm a huge fan of adding mobility exercises in the routine, specifically around the lower back and the hips, because these areas can really impact how your knee moves. So if we're skipping mobility, we are potentially slowing down the progress of your rehab. Number 2 is clarity on knowing what's next. And this one can make a huge difference. Doing random things that you see online or just keep repeating the same exercises that your PT has been giving you is not going to progress rehab. What creates real progress is having a checklist of milestones and goals. For example, for running, there's a series of things that your knee has to be able to do before you can get cleared safely for running. So there's going to be things like single leg quad strength, single calf strength, being able to hop and jump in one place without pain. These are some of the things that you will need to check off before you get cleared for running. I made a separate video about this, so I'll link that in the description. Remember, each one is a checkpoint, a milestone. Only when you clear it successfully without pain, then you can move forward. When you don't, then you know exactly what to work on. This type of clarity removes any guessing. And when you're someone over 30 and has life responsibilities, clarity is everything. You don't want to be wasting your time and energy. Number 3, a training structure that actually fits your life. Like I said, most of my clients are over 30. They often don't have time to go to the gym 5 days a week. Some of the programming that I do for them include both gym and home workouts, depending on what they have. Here's what most people don't realize. They think they need some kind of fancy equipment all the time to progress their rehab. Some weights, a step, a floor, and a wall is all you really need to progress your ACL rehab. The key is knowing which exercises transfer well for a home situation versus a gym. So you're never wasting a day or a session figuring it out on the go. When you know exactly what you're doing on your home days and what you're doing on your gym days, the consistency will follow. And consistency is the number 1 factor to fully progress your ACL rehab. Speaking of structure, I'm actually a huge fan of structure myself. So I break down my 3-step process and how I've helped over 200 people get back to running and sports after surgery. I put it all together in a 10-minute video training. It's free. You can watch it. I'll link it in the description below. So in close, your age cannot be used as an excuse. Yes, our goals and our priorities change when we get older, but we still have to work hard and stay consistent if you want to get back to running and sports. So whatever your situation is, you got this. Keep going. I'll see you in the next one.